Live stream started. And we're doing another. I want to make this an hour because I think we need to get this. The fuck is it? Live stream. You guys can join. Okay, what's up, guys? So we're gonna make this an hour. I'm gonna make these a little bit longer right now because we need to, figure out this market. There's a lot of money to be made in this market. Oh, this is some swings shorts I have. Pulse my biggest short position. Um, and yeah. So there's that. And we're gonna look at what's going on here, how we could have made money today because there's a lot of opportunities. I wish I had gotten this on the way down this bind, but it is what it is. I mean, you can't kick yourself too much. It's such a unique situation. So here's what happened here. So yeah, I mean, we're trading back and forth in the after hours. Now I think as we said in the pre-market live stream. It ended the after hours close to the top, so that suggests a spike up the next day, which it did, and then it kept going in the pre-market. Now notice it started coming down here again at 5:30, and it never reclaimed the 5:30 highs. So it went to like 850 at 5:30, and that's actually it is very typical for a runner to reach a high at 5:30. I've found. And it's because it's easier to manipulate a stock in the pre-market, and because there's less volume, and so and we can see that the volume here, um, it's quite a bit less in the pre-market than it was starting at the open. So at the open, this is a 5-minute candle. So that the open, it looked like it was about average maybe 40 million, 30 to 40 million every 5 minutes, whereas in the pre-market, much less, maybe 10 million every 5 minutes. So what happened was it started coming down and at 5:30, and then it let's see what time it was here. So 7 it spiked down, kept going down until 8 it kind of worked its way back up again, and then at 9 it came down, and then at 9:30 it it kind of reached a low it spiked down at 9:30 to 6, and then it went up again until 10:30. Okay. So from here, it didn't recover at all at that point after 10:30. So that's just a pattern to look at. I mean, I think we can, see the patterns happen more in the future, but I think once it I think that this red candle here was probably the the signal here. This was it. It's easy to see now in hindsight, but it had the open, the market hours run, and then after the run was over at 10:30, it went sideways here, and then it could have gone to high, but then this red candle just kind of poured cold water on the rally at that point. So I'll make a screenshot here, just kind of pointing out I think the definitive signal that it was over was put this in here. So so this red candle signaled the real backside um at about 11 a.m. because it already had the open rally. Okay, so I think that makes sense. Let me see if that's okay. Okay. Now let's look at I did show I think it should be explained as well the situation with flowers 1-800 flowers because that was sort of a key situation that I put in the room here. Okay, so what we're seeing here, okay, we can go over this as well, this SHMD. Now it the this red candle is sort of explaining that the news isn't as good as it seems like. So let's pull it up. SHMD. Let's see. Okay, this was just the morning here. And so what happened was right because right now, I mean, if you look at SHMD at the moment, it's let me see where it's trading right now. Okay, it's actually down 7%. And I think what happened, so SHMD is now down 7%. And at one point it was up over 50%. So the news really sounded compelling. I mean, the news sounded like it was really good news. So let's take a look at the let's take a look at this news. And this is actually the one of the this illustrates one of the hazards of longing news because this looks like really good news, but it turns out it was just an exit it was a exit liquidity for insiders. So they say here they got two new projects, two significant orders for artificial intelligence server applications, and he said it's a very fast growing industry, and they got awarded Schmidt the entire production line, and it looked really good, but then if you look closer what's going on here, it spike it had the initial spike, that's normal, and then so now let's pull up just the chart for today so you can take a look at it. Let's see. So it had the initial spike, which was from like $4 to 7. That's a normal in the news spike. Then it came down to about 580, and then it went up again to like over 6, almost 7. And then this next candle down, red candle down, this is the time to short because it's not continuing up. And to have such a sharp candle down, that kind of tells you that there's going to be some selling. Insider selling, or a big holder is dumping his shares. Otherwise, it wouldn't. You don't really see this sharp candle down on the second move up. Unless it'll keep going. And sure enough, despite this great news, supposedly great news, the stock is down 7%. So, and then if you look at the volume of it, you go a full year. There's really no opportunity for the insiders to sell. There's no volume. But today it's just the highest volume ever. Like there was never a real volume day for over the past year. So the insiders needed some kind of a great a good news in order to exit their position. Then I also have what I put down for Flowers Foods. Let me pull that one up here. Um, Actually not, no, not this one. Wait. Well, okay, I just pulled this up because it's similar. The CYN, like this one also had looked like good news. This was a while ago. This was about a week ago, and then it had another this big red candle here shows that it's done. So you can short it here after this red candle at the open. So that's similar to the SHMD chart. Whereas it spikes on the news, comes down, works its way up again for the second run, and then when the red candle comes in, then you can short it after the red candle, after it shows a little support here, and then it keeps going down there. So this FLWS, let me see, I thought I put the chart up here. I guess not. So with FLWS, let's see here. So if we look at the a week chart of this, so it's trading around for for 475, and then it starts running here with with Beyond Foods with BIND. It starts moving up 13%, and then this is the continuation today from the after hours move. And so when you look at this Flowers Foods, not Flowers Foods, I think that's something before. It's 1-800 Flowers is the stock. So if you look at Yahoo Finance with FLWS, you can see here that they had news. So this is the first time that I've seen um Zacks have a bearish report, and it says 1-800 Flowers is Zacks bear of the day. So bear of the day. This happened 9 hours ago. So that was in the it was basically this morning, really early at 4 a.m. today. So what happened was it's actually a bearish report by Zacks, which I've never seen. I mean, they're usually just a pumper, and then they were talking about how it's a strong sell, and then at the bottom, this is kind of the key thing that I looked at, and I shorted it, but I didn't capitalize like I could have. But he said here the bottom line is that well, Flowers FLWs could eventually be a candidate for a short squeeze. It may keep falling for now, as it doesn't appear to be in a position to cover short-term debt obligations without liquidating assets or seeking additional financing. So basically, this is the bull bear case in a nutshell. Like the bull case is it could be a short squeeze just like BYND, and the bear case is that they need to cover the short-term debt obligations, by liquidating assets or seeking additional financing. And the reason why I think it was, a pretty easy short is because they had to liquidate the stock in this opportunity. Like there was no guarantee that it was gonna run like like BYND. And it was just what we call a simp. It was basically a simp to BYND. And so the play here would have been to you don't want to get in the way of the front side, but the first red candle you can short. So all through here, there's no big red candles here. There's one here, but it was pretty quick. It lasted less than it would last about a minute. So we see here when you see a few red candles, like this is the 1 minute candles, then I think this is the signal is short for the backside. And you can see it never bounced at all. It was just straight down. All the way until 11. It never it bounced here a little bit because that was the open. It probably went a little bit with sympathy to BYND because BYND went up after the open. But other than that, it's just straight down. Like it didn't matter what BYND did. And I think that it has had to happen because the people who have the shares, they had to take this opportunity to liquidate their position. And because they're probably going to see that it's going to be they're going to have to do an offering and liquidate and dilute. Because if you look at the financials here, they here's on You know, it's even down 9% now. They lost $50 million last quarter, and so they basically have nothing, no money at this point, and that was quarter in June 30th. So the thing that made it a little bit difficult is that it wasn't on dilution tracker, because if you go to dilution tracker, it's kind of too big for dilution tracker to hold, because dilution tracker just has kind of small companies. But I think if you could have put the pieces together and figured out this was a very good short opportunity, and on those candles, on those first couple red candles. Okay, so let's see what else is up. So I said in the chat here, ARMP was not. It's too hard of a situation in short, because we don't know how valuable a drug is that can treat that disease. Even though they have a lot of dilution, they have a lot of warrants, but we don't know to what degree that the drug is. Now it's trading at about $12 right now. I'm not gonna touch it. I mean, it's tempting to want to short it, but well, let me see what it's got here. So it's got about 6 million at 325, 4.5 million warrants at 5, 8 million at 3, more at 6. So this is about 20 million shares right here that's gonna get diluted, and then they got the convertible note. Um, so there is a lot of dilution with this thing. But and who knows? It might have been a good short. At the top. If some people did it, we're able to do it. But let me see what it. So it was trading at 350 before today. So it kept halting up over and over again, and then it halted up at 1350, went to 15, and now it's kind of coming down. Um, I don't know. If it could be a short here if somebody wants to do some research on it. Let me see, because it looks like it finally got a breather here. It finally got a way to come back down, because the news didn't come until 11:30, so that's why it started moving up at 11:30. And the thing that I was looking at with it is it says here that it's a common disease. There's also the disarm study confirm. Um, it's for SRS bacteremia, and he says it's a common, extremely severe, and often deadly infection. So I don't know this is from the CEO, I guess. Um, or no, it's someone that did the trial, Dr. Miller. So I don't know what he means by common. I don't know how many people have it, but yeah, I mean, if it is a pretty common disease, this could easily be $1 billion plus company if they think the drug's going to work, going to get approved. So you got to think about what are the odds of it getting approved in a phase 3 trial, and details with that. Now this one was interesting. This BNF. This is ran before. Moon Market actually long this. I think at like 50 to 60 cents right here, and he caused this spike up here. Um, now Moon Market. No, it went up here. It kind of pulled back a little bit. Um, so this usually happens. Like Moon Market will mention it. He said he longed 300,000 shares. So this is a six-figure trade for him, and it moved up here, spiked up, then it pulled back. So it went up like 87, pulled back to the low 70s, and then it went up again to a buck. This is all around 8 o'clock, so around 8:10, pulled back to like 85 cents, then went to a buck 30 by 10 o'clock. So then it kind of kept coming down, and then it spiked again here at 1 p.m. So this is kind of an interesting spike. So it's not going to it didn't continue falling. It actually it went back up again. And there wasn't any really news on this. The reason why it went up was because the CEO and the top two executives uh converted their debt to their preferred shares to common shares. But McGill found here in the notes that we made that it they're locked up until 2028. So they got 100 million shares, but they can't sell until 2028. So to me, this is kind of neutral news. I don't know. I don't think it's. I guess because if you look at it, they exchanged the shares for Okay, so the exchange it was 53 million dollars for 101 million shares. Okay, actually I think I know why this is good news now, and I didn't understand this before is if they're gonna not be able to sell the shares for 3 years, then that's showing confidence that the company will do well, or at least not have the stocks crash over the next 3 years. Because otherwise they could have just held their preferreds, I think, without converting them. So converting them with a lockup means that um they're confident in the company. So that's gotta be it there with that. I think. And I didn't even notice that before. I didn't process that. So that's pretty good. Um maybe it would have helped to see like if the preferreds had to be converted or not. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. So yeah, that's a situation where it takes some thought to think about what exactly the ramifications were of the news. Because when I first looked at it, I thought it was like a just a sympathy to BYND. But now that if you look at it in that way, maybe they didn't have to convert it, then that could have been a good part of it. So let's see what it says here. Um, so um, so chairman of the board, they elected to convert and exchange for, for shares of the company's common stock. It says company seeks to comply. Okay. It says that yeah, they entered a voting lockup agreement which provides that will the conversion shares and we started to lock up until 2028. Um, okay, so there's no appreciation. So yeah, so it says voluntarily. I think that's key. Um, give up the preference. Okay, okay. Okay, okay. So now it's making more sense to me. Yeah, yeah, that makes more sense from a fundamental perspective. Okay, so let's take a look at this BNBX. But I want to take notes on that here on this BNF. So I got here this group trade review notes. So top two execs converted their preferreds to 100 million shares of common. Um, the PR says they voluntarily did it, and there's a 3-year lockup. That shows that confidence they can keep the stock up. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Okay. All right. Then BNBX. So BNBX started moving up at 8. And this is the previous APDN. Now let's see. So this is another digital asset treasury. And okay, so they did a pipe. Now these digital asset treasuries are pretty much over, I think. Um, but it says they included 50 million as cash and stable coins. So what's the price of the pipe? Okay, let's see. So they already announced this before, so it is old news. Um, so let's see when did they announce it before? Um, so on the 29th, uh, hmm. So let's see so it's trading at 574 right now. So that was on the 29th. So let's see where it was trading there. So on the 29th, it spiked to 675, came down, then it went to over 6 again on the 6th. Because they're cutting 60% of their workforce. Then it came down to 350, and then now they're announcing again that they're doing the digital asset treasury. So here's some options. Okay, so it doesn't say what price they got. Uh, let's see. 15 million. Okay, it must say it's some here. Let me see what it says on dilution tracker. So they do have warrants here at 513, 3 million. So here it is here. So it's $3.82 for the on the pipe. So I would think this one would fade from here. Because a lot of these things are going back to the pipe price. But there's only 1 million shares, 9 million outstanding. So they might be able to sell the outstanding, and there's these warrants here. Now it says right to receive. let's see. So it's the lowest volume weighted average price. Okay, that's regarding the stock split. Okay. Last update in August. Yeah, I think this could be a good short at this point. A possible short. Um, Especially because let's see what crypto's doing right now. Crypto's down today. Maybe people weren't sure if the deal would go through with this. Um, Interesting, interesting. Yeah, yeah. I'll keep that on watch here. I mean, maybe people are impressed that the deal still went through. That's possible on it. Let's see if there's any short. The bar rate's the locate fee is pretty high on it. Um, Not crazy high, but okay. So this is interesting. This ARMP is coming back down. So it pretty much it kept halting up without much of a chance to fall. And then once the first red candle comes, then it is a short. So we'll just watch that, see if it keeps falling. AIRE is just destroyed too. That one was another supposedly meme stock, and that went again six would be the time to short this after 5:30. 6 a.m. it went to $1.35, came down, reached 85 cents at 8, came back up 9:30. It spiked down, then went up to $1.30 at 9:40. Then it was down from there, and it really came down here. So this spike, this red candle here after 10, uh, what was the beginning of the end for this one. So I think you got to wait maybe by 10:30. 10:30 was the time to short this one. But this one was just held up on air as well. It was there was a ton of warrants on this, and it was just a matter of time for this one fell. Let's take a look at the warrants on this one. So there was 5,000,015 cents, $4 million 40. So it never really came close to this. I mean, it would have to go over that to use them. And then there's 3.5 million at 35 cents, and another million at 75 cents, plus the convertible preferreds, which is a million. Then the equity line. But so the warrants alone was five five about 9 million warrants that are going to be used for sure. Yeah, I wish I got this one. I wish I got it. I think this one wasn't too hard. If you're able to get it there, it's just it to me it scared me a little bit because of all the meme action. I didn't really wasn't really committed to shorting it, but I think after 10 o'clock, that's when you really want look at the possibility of a breakdown. And I think this red candle here really fucked it. And then it reached the bottom, 1120, and now it's back there now. It bounced back to a buck. So that was a pretty strong bounce, from 1120 to 1135, and then down again. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that was another one I think we missed. That was very doable there. And then along with the 1-800 flowers. And then Donut's actually been holding up. Krispy Kreme. It's let me see the 3-day chart. So it's actually not up that much because they have a lot of debt. So with that leverage, it's not up a lot. So that's probably why it's holding up. And and then if you look at some of the news, it shows they are expanding into Europe. So I think there's some fundamentals there, like expands to Spain. Krispy Kreme continues global expansion. It goes to Brazil and Uzbekistan. Okay. Okay, but I still got some good shorts in this. I mean, I made some money on this one too. Um, okay. But I think BNF long. I'm gonna make a note about this. So I'm gonna say overall BNF long, Flowers short, and ARE short were the main plays of today that I should have capitalized on more on. So they were the obvious plays. They were those ones. I think you could always say BYND I should have gotten, but I think that one is more complicated because it's a meme stock, so I could have gone to 10, I think. But these ones were more straightforward as simps to BYND. Um, Now the quantum computing is really continuing the downtrend, and I think this stock's a piece of shit. This QBTS. If you want to look at let me see the 2-week chart here. So it reached all-time highs on the 15th, and then pretty much down from there. Now I shorted it. What day did I short it? This day is when I shorted it. But then I covered, and then it fell way more after that. So this was sort of the first day of the backside on this move. Because if you look at the 6-month chart, it was at like well below $10. Look at the year chart. I mean, here's at 250 a year ago, or $1.50. And there's just no fundamentals here. I mean, I think the CEO is a scumbag. I mean, he's just a complete, just liar. I think he just makes me squirm watching him speak. And I wish I could have really gotten more out of this one instead of just that one day. Um, because then the next day it kind of holds up, but then this day it's interesting that it spiked up at 4 a.m. here, and then it was just straight down. The last 3 days has been straight down. So what causes 4 a.m. spike? Let's see. This was on the 20th. Let me see the 20th. So redemption of public warrants is not. I don't think that's bullish. That's actually bearish because that's forcing people to convert their shares and probably convert the warrants and sell. Um, it's probably a non-event. People are probably going to sell anyway. But yeah, this is just a really violent fall the last 3 days. Um, make a note of that, and probably other quantum computing stocks. You'll see the same thing. Let me see, yeah, last 3 days. Um, RGTI fell hard, and Island Q. Yep, and then QPT. Yeah. I mean, the whole sector moves together. All the quantum computing stocks kind of move together. So, QBT, RGTI, all had violent for the past 3 days. 3 days. There seems to be no end to the backside. So BNBX, I just shorted a little bit of it here. Any other stocks you guys want to go over? Let's see. So they got those 2x short QBTS or GTI. Those are obviously up a lot. Um, let's see here. AREB. Um, don't see any news on this one. It's a small company, only see what the float is. 5 million float, trading at about $2. Okay. In DLS, not sure what's going on there. Nothing, no news on that one. Let's see this NDLS. $37 million float. So that's a good size. Um, it's a US company. So what's going on with this? Let's see. Let's see the management. Hmm. Maybe there's some takeover speculation. Not sure. Not sure what's happening with that one. Um, iBio's back up. That's actually kind of surprising because iBio fell yesterday. So let's see the. So it faded yesterday, and then starting at about 12:30, and it kept falling down into the today, and then it started going up at 9:30. Spiked up at 9:30 to 120, went all the way to 155. So interesting. Yeah, not sure what's happening with this one. Now it's kind of starting to come down though. But this was, I guess you could call this a multi-day runner, but they're gonna just do preclinical. They just have preclinical stuff going on. But I'm not too comfortable shorting a multi-day runner. And I think that's about it. Well, BYND back to 4. Okay. All right. See you guys in the room.